Hello, 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 I'm back. There's a few things that I'll kind of say. I feel like now that I'm on P3, like there's not many changes in, I'm not changing weight, I'm not going up and down and blah, 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 so I feel like I don't have much to talk about. I do kind of vary a little bit as far as, like, I'll go up, you know, to 6 ounces, I'll go back down. I'll go down 4 ounces, I'll come back up. My body really seems to like that 202.6 range, and it tends to stick there. Today I was 202.4, so I was down by 0.2, but I thoroughly feel like my body's going to be 202.6 tomorrow, just because that's what it seems to like. Like the other week when I was 202.2, I woke up the next day, yep, 202.6 again. The one thing I will say about P3 is I think Runkman was the one that said this, and I didn't understand what he meant until I'm in P3. I think it was him that said, you don't feel as svelte. It might have been Chunk No More. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. One of them said, you don't feel as svelte in P3. As you do in P2, and that's very true. Like even though I'm 202.6 and I'm skinnier than I was, I don't feel like I feel fine. I feel great, but I don't know. I guess I felt more felt when I was on P2. So, anyways. That's one thing I will say about P3. Other than that, everything's great. I love the food diversity. And there's a couple things that I've actually tried recently and have gone perfectly fine for me in my main maintenance. One thing I did is, well, we'll see tomorrow how this went over, but tonight I made a mug cake for the first time. Now there was a variance in it. The recipe I was given, thank you, by the way, so much, Ginger and Sarah, HCG TN Girl, for that recipe. One thing she said, though, is that as far as nut flour is one of the ingredients that was talked about. I couldn't find nut flour. And I've seen that, I think it's the HCG Besties, made theirs with ground macadamia nuts, but I didn't get the macadamia nuts this time just because it was too much the last time of a temptation to just eat the macadamia nuts. But what I did find, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. What I did find was almond flour. It's finely ground almond flour, the red Bob's Red Mill. And I use that. Now, the one thing about it is it does have, for 1/4 cup, 6 grams of carbs in it. But I only use 2 tablespoons, not anywhere close to 1/4 cup. So I would imagine it probably, 2 tablespoons ends up probably being like 2 carbs, maybe-ish. We'll even say it's half. We'll say it's 3 carbs for 2 tablespoons. I doubt it's that, but maybe even less. Anyways, but I wasn't too worried because I'm at the point now in P3 where I can start adding in some carbs, which I'm not really going to do much of. And if I do add carbs in, I'm going to do it very, very slow, and I'm not going to add like a bunch at a time. So I figure with the little 2 tablespoons, it wasn't so bad. Now, let me just tell you, that mug cake, it was heaven. It tasted like a souffle cake. I don't know if you're a souffle fan, but I am such a major souffle fan. That is my favorite all-time dessert. And the way it came out, it literally, if you would have given me the mug cake and the chocolate souffle and done a blind taste test and not told me which one was which, I would have not been able to tell you the difference. They were so good. So good. One thing also that I did is I like dark chocolate. So the chocolate that I've been using for my chocolate delight and whatnot, and what I used for this mug cake was the Hershey's Special Dark Cocoa. It doesn't have any sugar in it or anything. It's a baking cocoa, just like the other baking cocos. It just happens to be the darker chocolate. And I don't know if it's the fact that I use that that made it come out tasting like a chocolate souffle, but oh my goodness, it was so good. The other thing that I did, which was different than the recipes, is I think some people use the flavored, like vanilla cream stevia, like the droppers. I use Truvia normally, and all I did was I upped my Truvia. So I did 2 tablespoons of Truvia in there. And mainly the reason that I did that is because I didn't want the vanilla flavoring, because I was going to put some mint extract in there, some peppermint extract. Totally forgot to add the peppermint extract, by the way. So it just came out with the chocolate flavor, and like I said, oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was so fabulous, but it's really rich. I couldn't eat all of it in one sitting. Like, I had to put some of it in the fridge and heat it up later because whew, it's just really rich. It definitely gives you that chocolate. I'm going to tell you, if I know some people have this on P2, I'm going to try my best to avoid it just because I know myself and I'll like want it all the time. But if I'm really having a major craving, I will probably make it and put half away and then eat, like have it over a 2-day period, but just because it really did satisfy that little chocolate desire. So it was really good, you guys. The other thing, another thing that I did that was fabulous is there is a non-dairy dessert topping is what they call it, but it's kind of like a whipped cream. It has, like, I think it's only 20 calories. It's very low in everything. I think it has 1 sugar, which, I mean, even if you look at the unsweetened milks, they have 1 sugar in them. I think it has like maybe, oh, I brought it over here. I can tell you actually, I forgot I had it. It has 1 sugar. It does have 2 carbs, but again, I'm where I can add in a little bit of carbs. And it has 1 fat. It's 20 calories for 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to show you, it's the dessert topping light. It's this right here. And I know that's probably bad, but I took it and I put it on top of my mug cake, and it literally was almost like having ice cream on top of it. It was so good. And in case you're curious, I'm in P3, so there's a little more flexibility. I'm not rushing out and eating ice cream. I'm sure it's less calories and sugar than like even Skinny Cow has in it, or less carbs than I'm sure Skinny Cow has in it. But it's located, almost every grocery store I've seen has like a version of it. It's, just make sure to look, it's the non-dairy, and where I've seen it in the grocery stores has been right next to the Cool Whip in the frozen section, like where you would get ice cream, but just go farther down to where the Cool Whip is, and right next to it, it's like the store brand. Like it's like a no-name brand, like whatever the store is that you're in, it'll say that name on it, and that store's brand or whatever. And oh, it was like having ice cream on top of my mug cake. So it was really good. Totally worth it to me. The other thing that I did, which was really yummy, is before I even started this diet, I used to get what's called broccoli slaw, or broccoli coleslaw. And basically it's shredded broccoli. Now it doesn't have any, it's not mixed with the mayo or any of the stuff. But let me show it to you. It's the Man's broccoli coleslaw. And it's really finely shredded. And I decided to take that since I'm on P3, and I know some of you do broccoli in your P2s. I really never did, but since I'm on P3, I decided to try it a little bit, and I did it this week and was absolutely fine. I took some of that, and I mixed the Walden Farms barbecue and ranch. I kind of mixed them together, and it came out tasting a little bit like an Asian dressing. And then, since you can have just a little bit of almonds, I just took a little bit and sprinkled a few on top to give it crunch of these blanched almonds, blanched raw almonds, and it was really a yummy little salad. And sometimes too, if I want more body and more volume, I'll mix it with like some hearts of romaine, like cut up some hearts of romaine and mix that in with it a little bit, and like it'll make just a delicious, like beautiful, like salad. So that's a little idea too, if you guys want, but I'm running out of time. So bye!